What's up? It's your boy here with another video, aka Avatar Sports. Let's get into it. Dame Lillard been in the news lately. Everybody wants Dame out of Portland. Uh, for one, Dame out of Portland will be fascinating. To see him team up with like LeBron James. See him team up with fucking um Luca. Team up in Boston. Seeing him team up with Kawhi. Seeing them team up with Joel Embiid. They want Dame out of Portland because as much as everybody said they hate super teams drive ratings. It makes things more interesting for the casual fan because it's like a mini fucking All-Star game, right? They like that shit. And another reason is, see, Chauncey Billups lately became the coach for the Portland Trailblazers. And I did not know this, but he had a sexual assault or rape case back in 2000. And we all know that, when you're a certain level of status, fame, and have money and shit, it's so easy for a bitch to say, hey, after they have sex with you, or don't even have sex with you, to say, hey, if you don't give me money, I'm gonna say you raped me. You see what I'm saying? And instead of dragging it out in the media through the court, it's easier for some guys to just pay it off in a settlement and move on. If you pay attention, 9 times out of 10, when people get these rape cases and settlements and all that shit, it's never a criminal case. It's always a civil case, i.e. Derrick Rose, when him and his niggas run a gang bang on that bitch. And she tried to say it was a gang rape, when in reality, if it was gang rape, it wasn't even no criminal charges. They didn't get no arrest or nothing. It was all civil because these hoes want money. They ruthless. They bloodsuckers. They fucking demons and succubus out here. You see what I'm saying? Now, the point of this video, I just want to address the Dame Lillard stuff, but another point I want to get at is the media wants Dame Lillard to leave because they think he can play with LeBron James, help LeBron James get another ring. What else? And like I said, people love super teams, whether they believe it or not. And I think people are just tired of seeing Dame in Portland. But I want to address the what you may call it. See, one with Luca and shit. I want to address the point with Chauncey Billups and the hate he been getting off the rape case. What people don't understand, Portland is at the center of the woke rabbit hole, right? Antifa, the far extreme left. I mean, for God's sakes, the people burnt down their own fucking city. You see what I'm saying? These people are insane. These are the same type of people who believe you can be a girl can be a boy, and a girl and a man can be a boy. I mean, a man can be a girl, and that if you're 7, you have the right to chop off your dick and become a woman. These people are the most crazy. These are social justice warriors, man. So that's the main push. Dame Lillard was being a real nigga and let them know, hey nigga, I support my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Which I respect that. You know what I'm saying? We know Dame a solid individual. He's not going down like that. But yeah, man, and it kind of pissed me off because when every time somebody talks about this in today's society, they never break it down how I just broke it down. A lot of these niggas are down the woke rabbit hole. If we're on TV, 9 times out of 10, you work for somebody who's Jewish, right? You have Jewish connects, and a white liberal Jew is the frenemy of the black man. They pretend to be down with us, but they're not down with us. Just like Michael Rappaport, they say they down, they want to be black, they want to say the lingo, they think they're cool if they date a black woman, but the moment shit get real, they turn your back on you. You see what I'm saying? That shit is fake. And I want to show you this clip on YouTube. It's from this YouTube channel called Brother from Another, aka Michael Smith, right? When Michael Smith was Michael Smith and his co-host, I forgot, has a show for Peacock called Brother from Another, and the way they cover that is it's not disgusting, but it makes them look foolish because they always avoid that narrative, or not narrative. They avoid that fact of that aspect of the far left, the woke rabbit hole, these Antifa, that sector. Like they always acknowledge the far right and like the racism and all that bullshit. They never acknowledge the far left. You see what I'm saying? Anytime you acknowledge the far left, you always a coon, you always a sellout, you always a dumbass. It's always insults. Like me, I have some conservative views about myself, and I have some liberal views about myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't too much get into that shit, but just kind of look and remind you, Peacock, aka the that's NBC. So you see these two guys right here, Michael Smith. I don't know who that guy is, but I guess they've been working behind the scenes with the NFL. Michael Smith was NFL insider. They did a lot of beat writing. They did a lot of stuff behind the scenes as far as sports journalism and media. And of course, who Michael Smith is. Now, I get it. These guys probably have families that want to get the bag immediately. But one thing about this shit, why I said I feel like every black man needs to own their own business or at least be self-employed, is because when you work for somebody, especially the white man, the older you get, you can't tell the truth, bro. You have to mince your words, walk on eggshells. And if the whole point of me in sports, I mean, it can be entertaining, I guess, it can be a character, but when it comes to we supposed to believe you and your analysis and your information, we don't value it because you never give us anything real. You keep like this nigga left ESPN and he's still giving us the status quo and shit. You know what I mean? So let me find out. Let me find that particular video. This is fair use, and I'm gonna just let this shit play. I'm gonna let it rock out.
Conversely, in terms of Kevin Durant's career narrative, there is this development story when it comes to Damian Lillard, who, of course, is beloved based on his loyalty, which immediately came into question when he tweeted the Nipsey Hussle lyric after the Blazers bowed out in the first round. Again, of course, they've since not only fired Terry Stotts, but hired, worst kept secret in the league, Chauncey Billups, which was met with some outrage and some backlash because of the sexual assault civil lawsuit that he and Ron Mercer settled back in 2000, I believe it was, 1997, rape accusation. Right. Of course, Chauncey Billups has since been, when they were both Celtics, for a hot second when they were Celtics. Chauncey Billups has since obviously been hired in several spots, hired, by the Walt Disney Company, hired as an assistant, of course.
Yeah, when he said the Walt Disney Company, it made me kind of wonder, did he have like a pending lawsuit with them or something? He didn't want to say ESPN, but they let you know he still kind of feels some type of way about the ESPN shit. That shit kind of funny a little bit.
With the Clippers, where he knows, where he played with the Clippers, that's how he knows Neil O'Shea. Is that Chauncey Billups? That don't look like Chauncey Billups.
No.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
No,
Am I tripping? That's not Chauncey Billups. Okay.
No, you ain't tripping. You know who that is?
I don't recognize that face.
That looks like
who is that?
Homeboy used to play at Duke.
Not to get off track. So Damian Lillard. So I'm trying to recap the week as quickly as I can, efficiently as I can. Hired Chauncey Billups. He gets. You talked earlier about overstating the impact or the significance of Twitter. Nonetheless, he replied to somebody who was critical of him. Chauncey Billups did. Excuse me, Damian Lillard did. Critical of him because the perception, rightfully so, is that this head coaching process needs to have Damian Lillard's blessing. Okay?
I'm gonna try to skip to the part where the bald-headed motherfucker. I'm just gonna skip to the part where you see him walk on eggshells a little bit.
And so, from the Billups hire, with frustration about the team's inability to build around him, it may push him out the door, finally, once and for all. Which is the Blazers and Lillard are one of those relationships where everybody being messy, trying to break them up on the outside, just really as Jeffrey Osborne once said, what we have is much more than they could see. It's like everybody just trying to divide these two, right? Yeah. So, and then Brian Windhorst today, just to bring you up to speed, he said, for whatever it's worth, that what he's hearing, Lillard is not pushing for a trade. I say all that just to say this one thing as we come up on break, and I certainly want to give you time to respond. I think the sad part about it is, in Portland and both Dallas, you see an organization that hires a coach that comes in with credibility and familiarity with the rest of the front office. And both of those coaches, Jason Kidd, for different types of baggage, different size baggage in his own past when it comes to his marriage, both of those hires are criticized, even though on paper, they make all the sense in the world in terms of continuity and an organizational structure. So that's one part. Second part is, if Chris Haynes is right and Windhorst is wrong, and Damian Lillard may be quote unquote forced his way out of Portland finally, I think, and Dame would say what's on his mind. He ain't fake. He'll tell.
When he says force his way out of Portland, they want this dude again because, you know, we saw LeBron James be pussy and at 25 years old, at the prime of his career, go join up with some other niggas and make a super team. They expect Dame to take that same route, the same route KD has taken. But when he says forced to be forced, that kind of lets you know these social justice warriors, that's like, hey, Chauncey Billups was a rapist. Now you must leave. Like as many jobs, like as he said, he worked for the Walt Disney companies. He had multiple jobs or opportunities working in the front office. And I never heard this rape case come up. And it kind of makes me wonder, is the niggas behind the scenes wanting Dame out of there also? You know what I mean? But let me keep going.
Call it like he sees it. I don't think Damian Lillard needs an excuse, but I don't think the backlash bothers him as much as his frustration over not getting beyond the first round or the organization's inability to build a contender around him. I think this is just the excuse, for lack of a better phrase. The backlash is just the icing on the cake or the cherry on top or the straw that broke the camel's back or whatever metaphor you want to use. The backlash pales in comparison to the frustration. And if he's actually looking to leave, I think it's really about time's up. And maybe that's the lesson in it all. Sometimes it just changes where you think one.
So he said all that to say that maybe the lesson is all is time's up. Time's up is the lesson, guys. Time's up is a lesson for a rape, that a sexual assault accusation that we know Chauncey Billups never did. He just had to pay it in a civil way so his name wouldn't be drugged. And after 20 years, it still pulls up. Time's up. See what I'm saying? Like, how come this man can't say? You could tell they know it's bullshit. Looking at their body language, at least Michael Smith. But the whole point, the whole lesson for Dame Lillard getting out of Portland is time's up. You know what I mean? It's because a woman, you know, it's kind of so backwards because a lot of women, you know, in this day and age, or just period, since the beginning of time, they leverage their sex to get where they want in certain positions. Like, that's normal. And I get it, you know, in that time's up movement, a lot of those actors and actresses in Hollywood, they know what's up. For the men and the women, you gotta give up the ass, you give up that pussy, you suck a dick here and there to rise up the ranks. Now, later on, if they don't get that so-called position, whether it was promised or whatnot, they tend to complain. Now, on the back end, I do understand it's horrible monsters who forced themselves on ladies in the industry who didn't want it to begin with, but that's a dirty game you get into, bro. But that's a whole different story. But the point is, the reason Dame Lillard should get out of Portland is because of time's up. Ain't that a bitch? Now, see how they're... The point is, also this video, you see how two black men who don't own what none of they're saying, NBC, owned by, you know, ran, I'm pretty sure by Jewish people, you know what I'm saying? Not their own people. And they got to talk around the situation. They can't be honest and just be straight up. They have to talk in line with what society's saying and shit. But I'm going to keep letting the video play. So even though I know I might not be making 100% to y'all, but just, you know, let it play, man.
The way, like, hey, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be loyal to this organization. I'm not ring chasing. But then when that biological clock starts ticking, you're like, man.
Word.
And you're like that age young watching the playoff, maybe it's time to go. So anyway, I'm sorry, I rambled longer than I wanted to.
Word. Hey, look, I'll just say, I love your analogy of the relationship. Like, people on the outside trying to break us up, and they don't get through. Then all of a sudden, one day,
Hey, before this bald headed motherfucker keeps going, I don't know why I keep saying that. That nigga look like a goddamn turtle, boy. Like a milk dud, nigga. Yeah, that boy. But look, one thing I do want to say, Dame Lillard has been super loyal, even though they're going out in the first round, second round, first round, second round, made a conference finals in like first round again. Damian Lillard said it in an interview. I think it was Chris Haynes or somebody that. Excuse me if I'm yawning. Y'all sleeping on this fucking channel. Hit the like, subscribe. Um, One thing about Dame Lillard, he said in an interview is he doesn't take his position for granted. And championships are not promised. We see with the Brooklyn Nets, they stacked the deck and they got bounced out in the second round due to injuries, right? In the 7 game series, they still got bounced out in the first round. We seen in Miami, they lost their first year together. So when you stack the deck, it's not really promised. You know, to win a championship it involves a little luck. So Dame Lillard said he didn't want to take his position for granted, man. At the same time, he said C.J. McCollum and a whole bunch of host of players. He felt like if he wanted to ask for a trade, a lot of these players, a lot of his homeboys have been out the league a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Just different situations. That like for example, he likes CJ, he respects CJ, and a guy like CJ McCollum and other teammates, they could have been out the league a long time ago because you know if he would have asked for a trade, a lot of those guys they start the rebuild process. CJ McCollum gets the fuck out of Portland. A lot of players on the bench or rotation pieces, they might not get another chance in the NBA when it's a rebuild stage, and they might go to a different team and they don't want them. Look at Melo. If it wasn't for Damian Lillard staying low to Portland and being there long enough where he can have the pull to get Melo in the team, Melo probably won't be. Melo might be at home today, never playing another NBA game. And supposedly his homeboy LeBron James was okay with that because when LeBron James had a chance to let your brother on your team, knowing these niggas was hating on you, blackballing you, knowing nigga my career's in jeopardy, LeBron James didn't do shit about it, but Dame Lillard did. It shows the difference between these niggas. LeBron James is a fake ass nigga, bro. Dame is a real nigga. But anyway, I digress. I digress. He also said, think about the money. I mean, I'll show you the tweet later. He had a tweet where somebody said he was talking shit to Dame Lillard, and Dame Lillard basically clacked back and said, "Nigga, I'm finna touch 400 million before I'm 35." I mean, I think about the Chris Paul interview with Taylor Rooks' fine ass, and he said they asked him, Are you gonna opt out your $40 million player option so you can have a chance to win a championship somewhere else?" And he said, "Hell no, that shit not guaranteed, but that money is, man." A lot of times, what these niggas don't get, or they do get it, um, a lot of this shit is bigger than basketball. It's bigger than chasing the ring. It's bigger than championships. It's about that moolah, man. It's about generational wealth. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna let these niggas keep talking. I'm gonna let them continue.
One of y'all says, you know what? I don't feel heard. Like, what? Where's this coming from? I don't feel like you're listening to me. Because it hits them. It hits them. All the other stuff, all the other legitimate criticism, 9 years for Damian Lillard, 1 Western Conference final appearance, 4 out of the last 5 years losing in the first round, including this year where he's just flat out said it. Man, they're missing Jamal Murray. We still can't, I thought we could beat them. Apparently we're not there. It's starting to hit them after all these previous years, after all those numbers. That didn't do it. It's not the coaching search. You're right. That's not it. Because we find out that he sat in on one of the interviews. Did you see that report? Not only did he have a say, he was in on the interview.
As he should.
As he should. I mean, I got no problem with that. No, yeah. I agree. Yes, the player, the face of the franchise, your best player, should be comfortable with where you're looking to go. But it's almost the opposite. Oh, Dame's upset about not having a say. Oh, you had a say. You were there. You were in there.
Yeah.
Got a little ad. Damn, I'm trying to pause the video till this ad gets through.